was always real nice to me. He'd sit me down, what's going on with you, baby boy? What? We'd talk about comedy, whatever.
And we do have some breaking news to report, and it's extremely sad. Malcolm-Jamal Warner, the actor most famous for his role as Bill Cosby's son, Theodore Huxtable, on the NBC hit sitcom The Cosby Show in the 80s and early 90s, has died.
The story surrounding Malcolm Jamal's passing is becoming more tangled with each passing day. Things took a dramatic turn when Dave Chappelle ended his long silence to claim that Malcolm didn't simply drown, he was eliminated for refusing to sell his soul. If you recall, Dave faced a similar dilemma years ago. The only reason he survived was because he vanished to another continent, without even informing his family where he was headed. Back then, people mocked him, called him crazy, and dismissed his warnings, only for his claims to later seem more credible. Sadly, Malcolm believed that turning down the offer would be enough. But if there's anything we've learned from both Dave and Cat Williams, it's that saying no to those kinds of deals often leads to dangerous consequences. About a week ago, Malcolm tragically lost his life while swimming in Costa Rica. Reports say a strong current dragged him farther into the ocean. Both he and another man were pulled out by bystanders, but Malcolm didn't survive. CPR was administered, and the Costa Rican Red Cross stepped in to help, but after 45 minutes of trying to revive him, he was pronounced dead at the scene. TMZ later released exclusive video footage showing Malcolm's arrival in Costa Rica. From what could be seen, he looked genuinely excited about enjoying his trip and eventually returning home to his loved ones. Unfortunately, it seems that certain powerful figures he had previously rejected may have had other plans. A lot of people aren't convinced this was just a tragic accident. Suspicion is growing, and many are beginning to believe that something darker may have been involved in his untimely death. Whispers of foul play are getting louder, and the official explanation is being questioned by more and more people.
What? The actor Malcolm-Jamal Warner has died. First of all, rest in peace to him. He seemed like a very stand-up guy, positive role model. But I looked into this whole thing, and it gets weird. First, let's start with the age he died at, which is 54. 5 plus 4 is 9. You guys know about my 9 videos, and 9 is the number of completion. But also, the show that he was famous for, The Cosby Show, in gematria, equals up to 54 as well. Then let's go to the date he actually died on, which is July 20th, which is the 201st day of the year. Yeah, can anybody tell me why The Cosby Show ran for a total of 8 seasons, equaling 201 episodes? How? In which is the same number as this event, Event 201, which was a simulation of COVID in October of 2019, right before they actually had COVID. Something tells me that we have to watch for this number in future events. Now, speaking of 9 and 201, Ozzy Osbourne has just died as well. He just performed his last concert just a couple weeks ago called Back to the Beginning, which is an odd title like they almost knew. But here's the thing. The attendance of that venue is 45,000. 4 plus 5 is 9. Now, you could call that coincidence, but here's the thing. His full name in gematria is also 201. What are the chances, right? Make sure you guys get into my Break the Matrix community because I have a whole decode section just for stuff like this.
The main reason so many people still suspect foul play in his death is because just days before his trip to Costa Rica, Malcolm was trending online for calling out some disturbing truths about the industry. He had revealed that a powerful figure offered him millions to star in films and other projects that completely went against his personal values. In other words, they wanted him to trade his morals for money. But Malcolm made it clear he wasn't with it, and he turned the offer down.
Within this business, because she would always say, if you look at anyone in this business who's had longevity, there are times when they've been hot and times where they've not been hot. Mm-hmm. You have to decide what you're going to do during those times when you're not hot, so you're not making desperate acting choices. You know, I've been fortunate enough to I've always had the financial wherewithal to be meticulous about the kind of work that I do. So I have a body of work that I will never have to be embarrassed by. Now, there may be some work I might be embarrassed because I might have been whack, but I don't. There's nothing in my body of work that I'll ever have to be embarrassed in that I misrepresented my people or I have continue to perpetuate stereotypes of our people. I've been very fortunate to be able to, pick and choose. I've never had to take a role that I felt would compromise my soul.
What makes it even more unsettling is that Malcolm wasn't the only celebrity to recently speak out about being approached with a sell your soul type of deal. This only fueled people's suspicions even more. In fact, Chloe Bailey also opened up not long ago about being offered a similar deal in exchange for massive fame. She talked about it during a live stream, when someone asked if she had watched Sinners and Baby. Her response? A lot, hinting that she had seen and experienced more than people realize.
Sinners, yes, I saw Sinners. It was phenomenal. I absolutely freaking loved it. Can I be honest? After Sinners, I cried. Do you want to know why I cried? Yes or no? Or you're just like, Chloe, you cried because you're a crybaby. Just tell me. Okay, so I think anyone who, it just reminds you so much of the industry, right? And it's like you could have a gift like he did with his guitar, and like they said, when he's singing, he's honoring his ancestors and uplifting and all of that, but then it also attracts the not good. So it's like, in order for him to be successful, the vampires were telling him he has to sell out so that he could be, so that he could live forever and his music could live forever. And it's exactly like things that I see and go through every day. And that's why I just like broke down crying, because it was showing like the people who decided not to go to the other side. They were in there fighting for their lives. They were in there going through it. While the ones who did give in, they were outside celebrating and having a good time and got things quicker and things like that. So the reason why Sinners resonated with me so much is because it's something that you see every day. And no matter how hard you work, no matter how good of a person that you are, no matter how talented you are, sometimes that's not enough to get you places that you need to be. And that's why Sinners, like, I was crying right after, because I feel like anyone in the industry could really resonate with it. And it also showed that what you have to give negativity permission to be inside. And as long as you don't invite it in, you'll be okay and safe. So that's why I really resonated with Sinners, and I thought it was so beautiful. I thought it was done so beautifully, and I'm just really proud of everyone who was a part of it. And I even cried when he was singing in the bar, and you see all the different, the history, all of the ancestors that came before us, that he wouldn't have been there to make music and play his guitar without the ones that came before him. So I feel like anyone who has a gift and has something that they truly, truly love, but feels like it's not coming to them in the time that they want it because they're moving in the right ways where they don't like give in, it's harder. And then you have like so many things tempting around you, like the vampire. So it was so deep. It was so deep. That's the reason I cried for like a whole hour after. And then the one thing, tell me what you thought. The one thing that I couldn't figure out.
When all of this came to light, many people immediately thought of Dave Chappelle, because Malcolm and Chloe's experiences sounded exactly like a modern-day repeat of what Dave went through. The difference is, Dave survived to tell his story. Even so, he was labeled as crazy and dragged through the tabloids, constantly having to defend his sanity. His situation unfolded back in 2006 during a tense interview with Oprah Winfrey, after he famously walked away from a $50 million deal with Comedy Central. Dave explained that the deal came with some disturbing strings attached, and he didn't feel right about accepting it. But as he tried to speak his truth, Oprah repeatedly cut him off and pushed him to admit he had a mental illness, which he denied. What made it even more bizarre was that she started pressing him on mental health issues right after he revealed that Hollywood executives had tried to pressure him into taking antipsychotic drugs.
I've been in show business since I was 14, and I've heard the stories of what happens, and I've seen these kinds of things play out in front of me.
Okay. When you say you heard the stories, what do you mean? What stories?
I mean, you see it before. Look, Mariah Carey made a $100 million deal, and 3 months later, she's all of a sudden mysteriously crazy. Or Martin Lawrence punches through and he's waving on the street screaming, "They're trying to kill me."
Yeah, we hear those stories.
And it always happens around the time of their career where it seems as though they're crossing over the next plateau.
Yeah. Would you say you lost your mind, sort of?
No.
No.
Not exactly.
Okay.
I wasn't crazy, but it's incredibly stressful.
Yeah.
And I felt like in a lot of instances, I was deliberately being put through stress. And I didn't tell anybody where I was going. The whole time, they're trying to convince me I'm
For some
insane.
background, Dave first made headlines in 2005 when he abruptly walked away from season 3 of Chappelle's show while it was still filming. He flew to South Africa without offering any clear explanation, which sent the media into a frenzy. Almost immediately, the press went into overdrive trying to smear his name, painting him as mentally unstable. Tabloids were filled with claims about him having breakdowns and using drugs. Dave consistently denied all of it, but the media wouldn't back down, and the public believed every word. He made several attempts to clear the air, including a notable interview with the New York Times, where he said, "I'm not crazy. I'm not smoking crack. I'm definitely stressed out. There were things that overwhelmed me, but not in the way that people are saying." So not only did they try to pressure him into betraying his beliefs for a check, but when he said no, they came after him so hard he fled the country out of fear for his life. But Dave wasn't the only one this happened to. Cat Williams faced something very similar. And many believe Malcolm would have endured the same fate if he had survived. If you recall, Jaguar once revealed that Cat nearly lost his life when armed intruders stormed his home in the middle of the night. To this day, it's unclear how Cat managed to survive. Jaguar claimed he was so terrified afterward that he started sleeping in a Kevlar vest every night. And for those who don't know, Kevlar is a type of bulletproof armor. That's how real the fear was.
And I'll never forget the day when they breached the house and I left. You know, back in that moment, Cat was still wearing Kevlar to bed. I would get in bed with him at night and he would have Kevlar on. In bed.
If these claims about Malcolm are legit, then Chloe and any other celeb who's been offered a deal to sell out better be extremely careful, because clearly, these people aren't messing around. As expected, the internet had plenty to say. One person commented, "Oprah knew exactly what he was saying. You could tell she was uncomfortable, scratching her neck nervously because she knows what goes on and she's in on it." Someone else added, "As soon as I heard that, I knew something was off." The fact that there are so many different stories makes it seem like something shady happened. Time will tell. On top of that, many are finding it hard to believe Malcolm would just decide to swim out far and leave his daughter on the beach alone. People are asking, where was his wife? The whole thing seems a little too convenient. And who exactly was the other man he was with? But now, I really want to hear from you. What's your take on Dave Chappelle speaking out about what really happened to Malcolm? Do you think he was taken out, or was it truly just a tragic accident, like they say? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to click here to check out this other wild video.